What's up, guys? It's Isaac at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson here in Raleigh, North Carolina with your pre-owned bike of the week, the 2018 Road King Police Edition. That's right, this is usually the bike that you don't want to see in your rearview mirror, but it might just be the bike that you want to see right underneath you because this is an awesome touring machine. Just the Road King by itself is a cool bike, but the Police Edition gives you a couple extra fun features such as the tank-mounted tachometer and the fork-mounted speedometer, and a couple other things that we're going to dive into for your pre-owned bike of the week. Now, unfortunately, this bike has been stripped down of all the super fun police stuff, such as red and blue lights and sirens, because unfortunately, apparently, if you're not an officer, you can't ride with that. So, pretty lame, but this bike still does have some of its fun features. You've got not only the 107 Milwaukee 8, you've got the high output Milwaukee 8 motor for these Police Edition motorcycles, that tank mounted tachometer and that fork mounted speedometer I just mentioned. Then you do still have the red buttons here underneath that were originally set up for the lights and sirens on this bike, so if you wanted to do extra auxiliary lighting, this bike's already got some switches on there for that you could probably tap into relatively easy. But the passing lamps up on the front, they are operated by the one on the right. This bike has the low-profile engine guards that you typically only see on the specials, and this bike also has the bag guards as well, giving this bike just a little bit more added protection in the case of a tip-over. So let's jump up to the front wheel. This bike's got pretty new rubber on the front and the back on those cast aluminum rims. You've got dual brakes on the front with ABS, a responsive front suspension, and then you've got that big bright headlight of the Road King with its decorative trim around it. And this one has that light bar that goes underneath of it with the nice bright turn signals, so this bike has a little bit extra lighting to help give you a little bit extra visibility at night, and these lights are operated with the right thumb. Over that, this bike is equipped with the quick detach windshield that can be removed and thrown back on this bike in seconds, allowing you that nice warm air to roll over you when you want to, and then throw that thing right back on when it starts to get a bit chillier or you're making those longer trips. You're going to see it's a really nice height that's going to be able to throw that wind over most riders. This bike does have the hydraulic clutch and Harley-Davidson grips. Then there's the clamp holding on these Mini 8 bars. You've got the keyhole where you can lock these forks so that way people can't push this bike too far without you. And then on top of that is actually a speedometer right there in easier view. Now, typically on the Road Kings, you'd have the speedometer right here on the tank, but for a lot of maneuvers this bike was designed to be able to do, there was a need to be able to see the RPMs a lot easier as well. So that gauge went onto the tank, and now you've got the speed up on the forks, so that way you don't have another police bike joining your ride. There's the locking ignition switch below that tachometer, and then there's the 6-gallon tank going straight into a 107 high-output Milwaukee 8 motor with a 6-speed transmission and a dual exhaust. Since this bike was designed to be sitting in traffic a little bit more, this bike has the larger deflectors, helping keep some of that heat from the motor away from your thighs when you're stopped in traffic. There's the nice floorboards with the rubber in there, so that way it's reducing a lot of the vibrations going to your feet and giving you a lot of room to move your feet around too. You've got those low-profile engine guards up on the front, and plenty of room there to put highway pegs if you desire. This bike has a very comfortable touring seat with a nice slot, so if you want to drop a backrest in for the rider, you certainly can. Now, the passenger's going to have a nice spot to ride on as well, and they're going to have those mini floorboards to put their feet on. Then there's the locking, easy open saddlebags with the bag guards helping keep them better protected. These bags are easy to open and very spacious with lots of room. Then lastly, making our way to the rear, you'll see that the tips from the dual exhaust sticking out from underneath those bags. And then you've got that nice wide crossbar with the brake light turn signal combo standard on the Road King. And this bike has additional brake lights that you'll see right in between the rear fender and the bags. Now, let me show you what this bike looks like with a rider on it. You'll see it's a very easy bike to go ahead and whip around. This bike feels a little bit higher up, so it feels like it's going to be easier to navigate and control underneath you better. There's the nice windshield that's sitting at a really good height for me. I'm a 5'10" rider, and that windshield is right to my eyebrow, so it's going to come right over my head and definitely reduce and keep any of that helmet buffeting to a very small minimum. But I can still look through it pretty clear. There's not really any distortion, and it's a pretty clean picture all the way around. That speedometer is in a really nice view right there, so it's just an easy drop-down look to double-check my speed, to keep other police bikes from joining this parade. That tachometer is right there as well, so I can really fine-tune my riding better. Nice, easy, comfortable bars in a good spot, good for moving this bike around well, and just a comfortable spot to tour with. You've got these more square mirrors that kind of sit up and go out a little bit higher, so you've got a little bit more visibility there behind you. You've got the hydraulic clutch. You've got these nice red switches here Unfortunately, the left one's not hooked up to anything, but the one on the right is hooked up to the auxiliary lights on the front. We've got these nice floorboards right here. Ooh, nice and soft underneath. So definitely going to keep you plenty cozy there. There's the fuel gauge right here on the left of the tachometer. And overall, it's a really nice, cozy ride. Definitely would do you very well in the next parade or your next run to the mountains. So that's your pre-owned bike of the week, the 2018 Road King Police Edition. An awesome bike for most anybody. The Road Kings by themselves are amazing touring bikes and bikes for just getting around. And then you're going to find this Road King Police is going to give you the options to have a little bit more precise control of your machine. And check it out and see everything that this bike has to offer in person. Be sure to check the link in the description to see this bike on our website and the one below that to connect with us. As always, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you soon.